What are you doing? Huh? What you doing? I've already fed you. I'm getting ready to show these nice folks my gun. Hello everybody. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob. And that's what I see every time I come out here. They're wanting food. I've already fed them about an hour ago. She's just a straggler that likes to hang around. Let me get it. So here's my hammer now. And I've done the tubing on it. And I milled out all these holes in a pattern. And we just made a straight line up the center. Then I clocked it, made the lines again, and we kept the same contour as the band. And basically, you've already seen me putting this on. It's just a Challenger shroud with the screw-on cap. I added my shrink wrap, and then I changed this right here on the end. I just kind of put a little groove in it and painted it black and then cleaned it off, and it left a black band around it. I wanted to do that up here, but it's so close to the threads you can't do that. So I was only able to do it up here because the meat's only thick right here, however thick that is. The rest of it's all threads. So this used to be the part that actually held the shroud on. So we added a cheek rest because my chin, I had to be down here when I was against the stock, so I needed to raise myself up. So I had this laying around that I was using on my gauntlet before I made it better. And I decided to use it on here. And I just glued the camouflage to one of those black foam pipe covers that was that big, and then I just glued this to it, turned it over, put spray glue on the inside of it, and clamped it down all night last night. Now I don't know how well that's going to hold. It might get cold and fall off in the wintertime, who knows. But it's holding good. It feels like it's holding pretty decent. I had to add a screw here. There was never no indication of ever a screw been put in it. So I had to add a screw to that. And we did get my air compressor to be able to pump this up to 4,500. And now I'm just waiting on the slugs, the correct slugs. I have the 510s, and they shoot well in them, but they don't fit well in the magazines. So I'm not going to fumble with that. It's kind of hard to use these magazines to slide them in, because while you're sliding it past the first pellet, because you have to slide it past the first one, you're actually shooting the second one. So when you go to slide your magazine in, those things are floppity flippity back and forth in that hole so easily that, and your gun's at an angle, so it's sliding down and it goes into your bolt hole, and guess what? Then your bolt is stuck. Ask me how I know that. So I'm not going to fumble with that. That can cause me a problem where I have to destroy something to get it back out. I'm not doing that. Or make some kind of contraption to screw into it to pull it out of there. But it would have to go all the way through the barrel. I don't want to disassemble my gun. So I'm just going to get the 511s, and then we will do the shooting. But I wanted to go over a few things that that I wish I would have known beforehand. Then I would have known what to deal with. But when you YouTube this hammer, there's not a whole lot of disassembly videos to come up. Mainly it's just the review videos. There was one guy that showed how to put a sling stud on the rear stock, but he'd only actually show you him taking it apart. And that was the only reason I went to the video, to see what was inside of it. So I had to experience that on my own to find out what was in it. I like to go in knowing a little bit before I get into it, so I know what to look forward to. So that keeps you from making too many mistakes. So then I added scope caps, and these have my 3D printed logos. This one happens to be deer horns. I have deer horns. I got the buffalo for my logo. I got one that says bison, and then I got another one that's got an oak leaf on it. So I made one for both sides. Now, drilling all these holes in here was actually not for nothing. When I was doing this, it was mainly for looks. But this can actually help you, because if you shoot this a lot, from the friction of that pellet or slug going up that barrel, depending on how you shoot, if your barrel gets warm, that will actually help cool that barrel. So you guys out there in the hot sun in the desert, no tree to shade you, this might actually be a benefit to you. So if you've got the hammer and you want this made, let me know. We will work out something. But basically all that is just to challenge your shroud, and you can buy that stuff. Aluminum, I'd rather it be aluminum, because aluminum is actually used as a heat sink. So, you know, when that air's going through all them holes, then I gotta do some trimming on that one hole there. I need to actually take it back off and do a reamer on it, or chamfer all them holes. Anyway, so I'm going to put you down here and I'm going to show you how to put these magazines in. I think I figured it out, guys. So I'll be right back. You'll see what they're wood for. Alright, so you see I got that one fitting. They're not falling through. These are the exact same slugs. And these are the ones that have not been modified. You got a pellet right there, or a slug, that shows you what direction to put it in. So you got to put it in from the back side. These here just fall right through. Alright, check this out. There we go. All I did was, you look at that. And I just do it on both sides just because it makes sense. Now you can see that it has changed the size of this pellet. Only that part. All that is just holding it in. The rest of it's still not touching very good, but they work pretty good. So it goes in. See, you can drop it and it won't go no further than where you mushroomed it. Then you just give it a little shove there to where it's in the hole, Just got to be past this, that's all. It could be flush if you wanted. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put this in. So, inside this breech, there's a little plate. It's just plastic. It's just a little plate, and it's got a little ramp on it where it's rounded over. And it's just entrapped in there. Let's get you a little closer. See, it's just moving around in there. Alright, so what I have discovered, that if you put that mag right there to where the edge of this is right on that ramp, then all you got to do is roll it up after you get the bolt open. Duh, I did that same thing the other night. So you put that there and roll it in. I did it 4 or 5 times in a row the other night. So you just kind of roll it in there. And it takes practice to learn how much pressure to hold the mag. See, 1, 2, 2 of them. 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna count it, 4. Yep, I got 4. So I'm getting better. So it's just a matter of getting used to it. People who shoot this every single day would probably do it in second nature, you know. So at least now I know that the mag is okay. The only problem with the mag is the well, what happened? Now I can't get it in. Maybe I wore it out. There we go. But I'm not going to load it right now. So that's how I found to put those mags in there. You know, just drop it on that little lip right there that's rolled down, and just kind of come up at the same time you're pushing in, and kind of just slide it, you know. So that, fellers and ladies, gentlemen, is how I put the magazines in this hammer now. So let's see, what else did I do? I think that's pretty much it. I also found out, and I can't see any videos on the inside of this stock, I found out that there is actually a bottle right here in this area. I was wondering why they had that there, because it just looks like it was put in there intentionally. So I just couldn't figure out why they made that so wide right there, when most of them are thin. And I should have known that just by looking at the outside of this, that there is something there. But in this area, there is a bottle about that big around, and about that long, and it screws into this part right here. So that has to do with the regulator. I am assuming that these 2 tanks, this one and this one, is carrying the exact same pressure. This one's just holding enough to do the next shot. So basically it's like tethering this tank with that tank. So so we was able to put the 45 psi in it, or 4500 psi in it, simply by adding 2 more burst discs to my Yongheng. And before you guys start pulling your hair out and oh my god, man's lost his mind, he's going to get his killing done. No, I'm not, because I'm a responsible person that knows what my limits are, and I do not go past my limits. I'm never going to leave that thing unattended, ever. Don't matter how many safety switches on it, I am my safety switch. So But I got it to 4,500, and now I got to put my bottle at 4,500. That takes a long time. I got a 45-minute tank. I think it's a 45-minute, and it's carbon fiber like this tank. And man, it takes forever to fill that thing up. I've been working on it for about a year just to get it to 4,000. Now that I can do 4,500, I may just go ahead and try to fill that up to 4,500, because I'm probably going to need to take it hunting with me. And I kind of want it to be the pressure that I'm testing it with, because if you get out there and my tank or my bottle's only at 4,000 psi, I'm only going to get 4,000 psi. So that might mean the difference of getting that big old 40-point buck. Anyway, let's see, what else have I come up with? I'm thinking about a design for the carbine, because it's got a bigger bottle, and it's got the same shroud. It just don't have the forearm grip. So basically what I'm thinking about doing is taking this, and let me put some light on the subject here. What I want to do is take and just make this part exactly like this. 3D print this part right here. And that wouldn't be hard to make. But it would be minus this right here. So this would actually be a barrel band that would clamp to your tank and have a screw up here just like this. So all this will look exactly the same except minus this part right here. Now it's a possibility that if I get my trajectory right with my Picatinny rail on the bottom of my band, it might go back, and I don't know if there's a screw hole down in here or not on the edge of this breech, but it's possible that you could even make something to go to the trigger guard, but I really don't want to mess with the trigger guard. So, but anyway, this part here would be missing, and it would be a barrel band that looks exactly like that. I think that would be a pretty cool addition to the carbine. And then they could do the same thing as this with the carbine. They can still do it anyway. Except you wouldn't have no way to hold it in place. This screw here is what holds it from moving this way and this way. The holes in here is what keeps it from moving side to side. So you definitely have to have a barrel band if you was to do this to a carbine. So that's my outlook and some of the updates on this. Anyway, hope you guys got something out of this. Maybe learned something about the hammer. I've still got a lot of modifications I want to do to it, like this hunt scope got to come off of there. It's got a blurry spot no matter where you put it, and you have to choose very, very little blur, and it's still aggravating to look through a blurred scope. So you have to pick the smallest blur there is, and it's right where you always need it. So when you pull or turn this thing, it actually gets loose in a spot and then gets hard again. Feels like it's got an awful lot of freaking play in it, in the lead screw. I believe there's a lead screw in this thing. But anyway, don't forget to have your Trump coffee today. I had mine. If anybody wants me to do anything to their gun, send me the gun. We'll fix her up for you. I gotta have the gun. I can't make the parts for it if I ain't got the gun. Now, if it's this one, yeah, I can do that. If it's the carbine, I can't because that's different. I don't have a copy of it. So, anyway, you guys have a good one. Later.